Across history, we have attempted to explain the most using the least. If there were separate explanations for everything, our capacity to understand anything would not get us very far. For example, let us suppose we knew two sticks combined with two other sticks made four sticks. If we did not seek to explain more using less, then we would not even know how many rocks we would have when we combined two rocks and two rocks. We would not even know if two other sticks, when combined with two other sticks still, made four sticks, or if this only applied for the specific first pairs. The ability to learn anything would be vastly limited in such a case. However, when we broaden what can have the same methods of understanding applied, then suddenly we have the entire process of addition arise. Then, further still, we can combine other similar rules we have learned to make all of math. In the first approach, it would be impossible to learn every nuanced detail that can be encompassed by the second. In the second's case, we are then able to explain and understand much more using much less. There is no need to specify that each case of the never-ending list of combinations of two particular objects with two other particular objects combine in each instance to make four objects, when the more general universal process of addition is used. With the scientific method, the objective is to continue down this path to explain the most with the least. From this approach, we arrive at the fundamental forces of nature, said to be the causeless forces behind all things. We can use these to explain everything we know of in the physical world. However, they are not the end of the road. We can consider this process like the sharpening of a pencil. Initially, each portion of reality has its own explanation. In this case, the sharpening has not even yet begun. Rather, the point is as dull as possible. Over time, we begin to understand and explain more and more while using less. Each portion of reality, as a result, shares an explanation with more and more other portions, though some portions of reality still have their own explanation. This leads to a sharpening effect where components are connected to underlying explanations. Some, though, maintain their own explanation, such as a charged particle being charged because it is a charged particle, or gravity having its effects because it is gravity, and so on. Thus, we have sharpened our understanding significantly from a state of complete dullness, but we still have a degree of dullness that remains. If we take this concept out to its furthest point, then we would go from explaining more with less to explaining the most with the least to lastly explaining everything with nothing. Let's say we write 0. It represents nothing. How many numbers do we have? 1. Both nothing and what that one thing is, nothing, are the same thing. They are equals. And yet we have nothing and one thing, opposites. When two things are equals, they are balanced, like 2 plus 2 equals 4. The calmness of a still lake surface, a peaceful day with birds chirping and serenity hanging in the air. Harmony exists in the balance of equilibrium. When they are opposites, they are in disharmony. The raging winds of a hurricane or tornado, the burst of a lightning strike, the sounds of armies clashing. For nothing, in the aspect of it which is equal to that one thing, nothing, it exists in a perfect balance. Nothing was always equal to nothing. It is equal to nothing now, and it always will be equal to nothing. In this perfect balance exists absolute harmony. Eternal balance resides in this equivalence, for it is unchanging. In the aspect of nothing that is opposite to nothing, which is that it is one thing. They exist in complete disorder. They are polar opposites, of which there is no greater disharmony. One is nothing, while the other is one thing. In this, there is chaos. It brings with it destruction and change. They will always be opposites, and therefore eternal chaos resides in their unchanging opposition. Without their equivalence, there would be no harmony. Faster than a lightning strike, the surge from the imbalance would pass instantly for eternity. Without their opposition, there would be no change. Like a picture, inanimate and dull, balance would exist in the stillness, but life would not. With both, there is eternal harmony and chaotic change. And thus from nothing comes everything.